Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. What we're looking at here is part of the records from the hospital when I was shot with my phone lines cut, and this is from the ER doctor from the emergency room report, and I'm gonna show you here what the ER doctor said. He said right ankle exhibits a through and through gunshot wound, which appears to have been sustained by a shotgun blast. I made a big point of that because I believe I was shot with a 45 handgun loaded with a plastic tip pellet-filled bullet to make it appear that I was shot with a shotgun. That way they could rule my murder an accident. There wouldn't be no investigation. And so there's more to this story. Hold on. Here's a Facebook post that I posted this morning, and I started with, before the murder attempt, the ex-wife told me about a group of doctors that were killing people for profit, and then my name was smeared. Believe me now? Okay, and here I'm going to show you some of these comments that I put under this, okay? Jordan, he wrote, I believed you the whole time I've known you. And I said, thank you, Jordan. She was dead serious, and a few weeks later, I'm shot with my phone lines cut. If I died, as was planned, that it would have given her my special home that has the $1 million underground home in the backyard where the oil show parties were going on. I had filed for divorce 5 days earlier. I was a problem for them because I was reporting crimes to the police and trying to stop them on my own without knowing there was a secret underground home in the backyard connected with oil show parties. After I survived, the ex-wife came over and she seemed upset about what happened to me. This is when she told me that her brother-in-law was my ER doctor. He's the one that says it appears to be from her shotgun. Okay. She hinted that the doctors had falsified my medical records, and I later proved that to be true. They had crippled me on purpose to try and cover up this for-profit murder. On the same day, she mentioned Detective Rosie Rodriguez and my oldest daughter, Jennifer. Now it's proven that Rosie tampered with evidence and lied on the police reports, and Jennifer mysteriously quit talking to me. I hadn't talked to her in years. There is no telling how many cold-blooded murders this dirty cop has helped cover up, but we can be sure that is what she was doing when I was shot by surprise with my phone lines cut during a home invasion. Here's a picture of Rosie Rodriguez in my house right there. I don't have any problem calling her out. The evidence shows that she falsified, tampered with evidence, and lied on the police reports in this capital murder attempt. On December 18, 2013, and I was shot in 2012, I testified under oath that the ex-wife had told me the big secret. Here's a transcript from there, 318th Judicial Court, the FM number and the date. And I said, she said, the secret is that a group of doctors are killing people for profit, you know. Well, what she never told me the entire time we was married, that her brother-in-law was a doctor. Well, so... And so anyway, that's what I described a minute ago when she come over after I shot and she was upset, seemed upset about what happened to me, and that's when she told me that her brother-in-law was a doctor and hinted that my medical records were falsified, and they were. On April 4, 2017, 4 years later, I emailed Texas Ranger Jeffrey Strain, who had been assigned to my case, and I told him I believe the biggest crime is what I was told by the ex concerning the doctors. She whispered in my ear with 100% sincerity, the secret is that a group of doctors are killing people for profit. Keep in mind, they smeared my name. Oh, he's crazy. He thinks people in the attic. And they're doing this to kill innocent people in our homes. Okay, that's what's going on here. For profit. Okay, here it is, Buddy Webb to Jeffrey Strain. Here's the date, April 4th, 2017, and just what I read you. But I believe the biggest crime is what I was told by the ex, okay? And then Jeffrey Strain says, how would a doctor make money killing people? Well, you know, he ought to know as a law enforcement officer that many murders have been committed over greed, right? Taking property, money, life insurance, etc. And I wrote him back, and I'm like, just frustrated. Ranger Strain. I can only speculate, but the person to ask is the one who told me this, the ex-wife. And since since you have her on tape admitting to extortion, which could send her to prison for many years and could also be used as evidence to her involvement in the capital attempted murder of my life, then she might be motivated to tell you about it. You can hear her on the video called Follow the Money. I'll attach a link, and I have a transcript too. My best guess is that those doctors were involved in the sex trafficking, human trafficking, racketeering, crime ring involved in these people in the attic, the underground homes, and all that, Here's some other ideas. She was an oncology nurse working for Texas Oncology in Odessa when I met her, and oncology doctors make money when people get cancer. They make a ton of money off chemo drugs given to cancer patients, and other doctors have been arrested on similar charges. I'll put a news story at the bottom. My dad recently died of cancer that don't run in the family, and I suspected other people that I know may have become victims. She might tell you who. Ask her. That's what I'm telling him. Ask her. Let's keep on going. And then one of the proofs I found was the x-rays. And what I'm showing here, this was 4 months for the murder attempt. That's what my heel bone looks like. And this was x-rays dated with my name on it from the night of the murder attempt. The heel bone's gone. See, all them shotgun pellets and the heel bone's gone. Well, it wasn't shot off, and so that was one of my first proofs. Like, wait a minute, that's not my foot in the x-ray. They took somebody else's x-ray, put my name on it. That's what happened. That was one of the proofs that I found. Okay. And then here was the ER report. It's time stamped, and the ER doctor, the brother-in-law, right? He orders 3 x-rays. Well, then secret lab tech user interface right here, user interface, cancels the doctor's orders and orders 2 x-rays. He didn't have enough fake x-rays to go around. And then he returned the x-rays time stamped 10 minutes before. There it is right there. Time stamped 10 minutes before they were even ordered in the first place. That was my second proof there that the x-rays were faked, was the time stamps from the ER report. And and just the fact that secret lab tech, I would never get the guy identified. I mean, it's just amazing. Here at the late Dr. Glass's office, we took x-rays in this little room. He puts it up there on the board, and I'm looking at it, and I noticed that this broken toe, you can see it where it's broke right there. It wasn't in the x-ray. That wasn't my foot. They took the x-rays to somebody else, and I'm sure they were ready for me when I got up there, knowing I was going to be up there. Okay. Here's another proof. Dr. Hinton, okay? He's a radiologist, and he compares from the gunshot wound injury date of 1/17/12 to other x-rays I'd taken on 1/19/12. Well, that's all fine and dandy, except I was shot on 1/28/12, 11 days later. And this ain't just one typo. Oh, we made a wrong, entered the wrong number. No, it's 2 different dates. Somebody else was shot 11 days before me, and they took his x-rays, but my name on them. You can see right here, Dr. Hinton. He said that. He compared x-rays from 2 different dates, and it wasn't me. And a nurse later told me she knew who was shot 11 days before me. And that's what I'm telling you. That guy was missing his heel bone. They took me into surgery and cut my heel bone off. That's what happened. I later found this EOB, explanation of benefits, where Dr. Hinton right here charged $76 to me and the insurance companies for x-rays dated on 1/28/12. That's when it's proven that my x-rays were fake. Dr. Hinton's name was nowhere to be found on the ER report, and they can't go in there like secret police, secret doctors, but that's what they're doing, secret doctors, And so I've wondered if Dr. Hinton wasn't user in interface, and he's the one that canceled them doctors' order. He's the one that faked the x-rays, And I also later found out that Dr. Hinton and the ER doctor, the brother-in-law I didn't know about, they shared an office together, okay? So I bet they're friends, okay? And maybe they know something about these doctors that killing people for profit, okay? And then after the first surgery came all these attempts to talk me into allowing them to cut off my leg. They were trying to cut off my leg at the knee, cut off the evidence, and it was over and over and over and over and over and over. We had further discussion regarding wound care versus BKA, below the knee amputation. Patient declines amputation, not willing to have amputation. Placement as required by the police. And then on the police report, Rosie Rodriguez puts, but he had surgery and his foot was not amputated. What do you want to bet? Oh, Rosie, she was praying and hoping and wishing they'd cut off my leg because she knew I'm a victim of a home invasion premeditated murder attempt that she's involved in. A police officer. Can you imagine that? I'm going to say one more thing. I can't show you what my foot looked like 17 days afterwards. Here's what it looks like now. And I just want to show you. I was put on disability a few months after I survived the murder attempt. They ruined my life, and I reported crimes to Midland police.